So today we're going to talk about a disturbance in the force, because FPX decided to place Cypher on Ascent, and they won with Cypher on Ascent, and the Cypher actually had quite a bit of value, as we'll see in some of these rounds as well. But yeah, let's take a look at how they used the Cypher and how they played this game and won this game, very close game on Ascent against Leviathan, and it started here with the pistol round, and this is actually a round that they lose, and they started off pretty bad. I think they start 6-0 down in this game, but they probably should have converted this pistol round, and they have a really cool idea. So I've seen other teams do this as well. I remember Ascend doing this a while ago at this point, and I've seen some other EMEA teams do this as well. But what's going to happen is the idea is you're going to get the jet into market here. You're going to try and get the jet in this area nice and early, dash in here, and then you're going to do an A split off the back of it. And you're going to hope that this, brings rotations across, that everyone starts focusing on this jet. And, the jet can hopefully maybe get a kill, maybe even 2 kills. And then everyone else is actually doing an A split. And, there should only be like one person left here. And so you're going to see that is pretty much exactly what happens. Because we're going to start off with this early Omen flash here to push off the Fade. Early KO knife comes in. And what Artist is going to do, he's going to put down this jet smoke just here. Dash into it and get straight in there, right? Just right in. And it looks like a fast B hit, right? Oh, we've used a ton of utility. We've Omen Flash. We've, Fate Horn. We got the KO knife in there. Oh my god, it's a fast A hit. Rotate, 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 right? And then a big part of this is this fight here, right? And you're kind of relying on, Artist to win this fight. However, he has been set up for success in this fight, knowing that, because you can see that he has light shields, but also has a frenzy. So they've kind of made him a bit of a raid boss here to try and make sure that he can win this first fight, and the pressure stays on that defensive side on this B site as long as it can. Really nice idea, and Artist will win that fight, right? Because he is a bit of a raid boss now. He actually goes and picks up the Ghost as well, and, he starts causing problems, right? These two players here on B have gone all the way to the back side. You've got the KO over here, and so it is just the Astra alone whilst everyone comes in. Really nice idea from FPX overall, and you're going to see the Artist somehow, as this Astra starts getting pushed with the Prowler, they begin to realize here, and Angel actually manages to get the kill. Another nice little point of this as well is the Cypher cage thrown over the top, the Cypher camera to make sure that a main is clear here. Cypher cage over the top that allows them to cross, and they also will know, nice little advantage of the Cypher cage is if someone runs through it and is going to come at you, as opposed to just a normal smoke. So nice overall idea from FPX, and they get in onto the site. And then a crucial part of this is Artist, who's still just on his own at that point. He actually managed to get another kill, and we end up in a 4v2. Now, as I said, FPX, from this position probably should have won the round, but something insane is going to happen in just a second. Now, Angel is on 10 HP, but other than that, everyone is on full HP. But what's going to happen here, as you're about to see, is Leviathan go about clearing some angles out. The knife doesn't see anyone. The door gets destroyed. They put a one-way up. Well, King is about to throw his KO nade on the top of Heaven here, just in here, right? And so what's going to happen is, obviously, with the KO changes, that now goes through the wall, right? The KO nade doesn't have to see anything, right? It goes through walls now. So that means that, Angel on 10 HP, he dies straight away, right? But Shao is there as well, and he starts getting hit by it. But then I think also King spams him down, which we saw on a replay later on. King, shooting through the wall as well, and so that manages to kill Shao as well. So all of a sudden, we just ended up in a 2v2. God knows how. It felt like that was just a crazy thing that happened. And then Adverso somehow is able to get that kill on Zipan, and then they actually managed to, clean this up, a 2v4 that they end up winning. Oh, scraping through on the HP, as you can see there, but very impressive by those two players. But a really cool idea, I think, by FPX to start. But now let's come to round number 9, because this round, I think, gives you some of the themes of this game and kind of, is a good summary of how the game went overall. We're going to see some Cypher struggles. We're going to see some Cypher value. We're going to see Zipan go insane. And yeah, we're going to see a sort of general FPX strategy here, because early on in this game, FPX were really struggling with kind of their big executes, right? They were trying to, oh, let's go A, let's go B. It didn't really matter. They were getting shut down. Leviathan seemed to just have a very good read, or, had very good protocols for what was happening if, FPX were coming in onto a site, and they were getting destroyed when they tried to get into those sites. So instead, what FPX tried to do a bit more, I think, was, they got an op into Artis's hands, and they tried to get him, a couple more kills, and that was kind of their strategy, and it started to work. So start with early Cypher cam in B main, and an early trader utility that, you always get, and Taco is in here. Now, one thing that the Cypher did struggle with, and you might have just seen Sugetsu put a tripwire down there, and he's just put one down there, but the Fade Prowler is going to destroy it, right? And this is where I think the Cypher struggled a bit, is that Sugetsu would try and put down these trips, in B main or whatever, but they were constantly being destroyed by Fade Prowlers or Shock Dots or whatever it might be, and so, that was a bit of a struggle. But we are going to see some value here from the Cypher. Now, Angel, I think, just has a momentary lapse in concentration, because you're going to try and give Zipan the spike, and you're going to see it doesn't look great. He just kind of, runs out into the open and takes the first death there, right? And so just a lapse in concentration, I think, of, not really understanding where he was, or maybe, where Taco was. And so we end up in this 4v5, but they're going to manage to win this round here. And I think the Cypher is really going to help, right? Because Artis still has that up, but he is going to be able to entry here as they come and they, find Shy there on that angle. They destroy the Fade Prowler, but now, crucially, comes in this camera here, okay? And so this camera, obviously, you can see that the Fade here, Shy, is running away, and he's going to run back to the back site, right? So they see that early on, and that is absolutely crucial for what happens next, because Artis, knowing that, Shy, as this camera can tell him, and Sugetsu, I'm sure, is telling him, knowing that that Fade isn't there, watching this cross, he just walks out, right? He just puts a smoke. He hasn't dashed in or anything like that. He just walks out. And the Fade ult comes out, as you can see as well. So I think here, Leviathan probably think, okay, we Fade ulted them. We caught them, right? It's mainly going to be main. They don't know that Artis is out. And the thing is, Artis was allowed to go out because this camera could see that this was safe down here, right? And so, he uses one little smoke to kind of allow him to get in here as well, to protect from these angles as well. And so just like that, Artis is in a very pushed up position, and he has, kind of a head start really on this angle from Taco, who's not expecting someone to be there. Artis evens it up, right? And so then we end up in this 4v4, and now they obviously know people are on this site, so they, start to come in. Well, although Artis does die, we're about to see the second phase of this game, really, which was Zipan going crazy and getting such important kills. Whenever FPX needed a kill, Zipan was there to get not one this time, but two, and, completely open up the site. He was just going insane in this whole game, really. He had an insane first map as well, and he was just absolutely on. Yesterday was Zipan, and so we end up in this 3v2, and at this point, obviously, now FPX are favored, and so, that kind of change in strategy of getting Artis that up and trying to look for kills, as we saw there, the Cypher helping out with that camera, clearing that angle for him, it all helped, right? And even though Melsa is going to find Xiao there, we're going to end up in this 2v2, but again, Zipan is going to pick up the op and manage to get another one right there, and Melsa eventually is just going to have to save here, as he doesn't have the time, and, well, he will get the final 2 kills as FPX try to leave, but another good round by them overall. Zipan going absolutely huge. We see some more Cypher use there, and helping FPX definitely get in onto that site, and they would win the round, even though they would all die. But now let's come to round number 11, because I think one of the main uses that they got out of this Cypher FPX was finding where Taco on the chamber was and shutting him down from taking some of these aggressive fights, which we will see in this round, because Taco has owned people on this map with some of these aggressive pushes on the chamber, right? He's very, very good at it on this map, in coming up here, or, just coming through mid, or pushing B main, whatever it is, right? He's destroyed a lot of teams on this map by doing that. But the Cypher allowed them to find Taco quite often, whether it was in B main or whether it was here in mid. They were able to clear out that space with the Cypher. And you see here he gets revealed by the spy cam dart early on and has to TP away. And that's big, right? That's big for shutting down that early chamber use, right? You force the TP early. And it really did help, them, okay, understand where Taco was, because he's obviously a big threat in the round anyway, so figuring out where he is often a good thing, particularly if he has an op, but also just shutting down that early aggression, right? They didn't allow Leviathan to be, super aggressive and allow Taco to get into those positions very often, because, they had the Cypher, and they often, could see what was going on. So what you're going to see here is we're actually going to go, and we're going to get more Cypher value in this round as well, as they just go for more of a B main hit here. And so they're going to flash across after they destroy that Fade Horn right there. In goes the flash. They're going to come in onto the site. They're going to flash through this smoke. They send in the KO nade there as well, dashing onto the site. And we actually get an Astro ult here from the side of Leviathan, which is basically designed to try and allow you to, as many people as you can to cross in there. Now, this is a bit risky, of course, with this Astro, because you don't know if, someone is going to... The timing is a bit weird, right? Where it's kind of like a dare of, who's coming where when. But they do have a dart here as well, just to make sure that no one's crossing it early enough. KO knife comes in as well, but we also crucially have this camera you can just see there in kind of the window of B main, and that is going to tag Shy as well to make him a pretty easy kill here as they come in onto the site. So what does happen is, they start to come in onto the site. You can see that Shy is being revealed right there. King actually does find the timing to catch Artist, but Zipan knows exactly where Shy is, so he finds a free kill there pretty much, and then is also able to find King as well. Adverso, they try and flood in onto the site. Leviathan love this kind of fast retake, that's what they're kind of known for. It's something that they're very good at, but in this time FPX shut them down heavily, and Angel, I'm pretty sure, heard the footsteps there of Taco as well, because he's clearly looking for him at that instance. But now we're going to see that Shao is able to take him out as well, coming out of that Cypher cage, and we end up in this 4v1. Good execute from FPX again, but to me, a big part of this game, and how it went right for FPX, particularly on this attacking side, and they found enough rounds here on the attacking side after a bad start, was because they were able to shut down some of Taco's aggression early on in a round, and he wasn't able to do that. And so we ended up in this position where FPX were able to put together a decent attacking half after starting down pretty badly, even though Melsa continued to just farm kills here at the end of the round. And he's 12-4. He's just finding free kills at the end. And now let's come to the defensive side though for FPX, and we're going to see some good Cypher value in this round as well, catching Leviathan out. But what we're also going to see, and my first point really here would be for Angel, is if you are 3-12, you're playing Omen. It's a close game. You're not known as the best aimer in the game. Maybe don't buy a Sheriff on pistol round would be, maybe try and help support your teammates a bit more. Buy an Omen flash. Maybe even just buy full util. Might be a bit better than the Sheriff because he misses a couple shots, and Shy, takes him out with the superior pistol gun, the Frenzy, there from long range. So, yeah, maybe consider that. But one thing that Leviathan are kind of, I would say, known for is this pistol round strat that they do on Ascent, which is they love to push this. They love to do a little A crunch, from sort of 3 directions, if you will, by attacking the window. It's something that they really do quite often on these pistol rounds on the attack side with this comp, and they're going to do it again. The difference here, though, is that Sugetsu can see them doing it, because this camera, and you could see it on the replay here, but just trust me, is going to be able to see the footsteps of these guys running up here. So he knows that they are coming at him, right? So he's just back here in his camera, perhaps one expecting that they might do that, but he can actually see it happening as well, because he can see their footsteps from this camera right there. So you see that he's going to get the footsteps. He's going to come out of his cam. He knows exactly that they're coming to him already. Managed to actually get 2 kills there. And then Zipan is able to get another one. And we end up in this, very good situation where they have the spike as well. The Cypher cage comes up as well to stop the push from the other side. And we're going to end up with Artist just finishing it off there nice and easy. As they managed to win the round there, FPX, and we found more value from that Cypher, and they won a crucial pistol round considering this game ended 13-11. And let's come to that last round, shall we? Because, well, let me tell you the story sort of this half, really, because what was happening is FPX got off to a good start. They were winning a lot of rounds, but then Leviathan started to come back into it, and they got to 11-12, and the success rate really from Leviathan was to come towards this position here, was to do an A split. This is where they were finding a lot of their rounds, and so FPX took a timeout because the Cypher setup was normally towards B, but they decided in these last couple of rounds to put the Cypher setup on A, right, or at least put a couple trips here and have just the camera on B. Keep the Cypher on B if you want, but put these trips here as just extra defense for this A site, because that is where they were really struggling. But this is going to be a really interesting round, because Leviathan have their one-off KO ult, they have Astra ult, they have Silver ult, right? So they're going to run a big fake here. And anytime you have Astra plus KO ult, that is kind of a sign that a fake might happen. And FPX kind of read into it as well, right? As you see, that King goes and gets the ult up there. Artist is already low on HP, as you can see here, uses smoke to get across. But, you know, they're going to read into this, and Leviathan, you know, they're just going to pause, they're just going to wait, they're going to take their time. They aren't in any great rush. I mean, you could tell that straight away because Melsa put down all four of his stars just across the map in these positions to recall them at some point. So you could tell that, you know, they weren't going to go very quick in this one. But yeah, they start with a drone here just to clear towards A main, just to, again, sprinkle those seeds that this is going to be an A hit. A smoke comes out, as you can see, from Angel there. And at this point, you know, we're just sitting. Everyone's just kind of waiting to see what happens. FPX are trying to search for some answers. They see that, you know, nothing really is in there from mid. As you see, Xiao sees nothing with that Fade Horn. But here starts to come in this fake, right? Because we're going to get an Astra ult across towards the A site in just a second, and then the KO ult is going to pop as well from here in short. So in they go, right? And you see we got Astra stars down here, we get the Astra ult across as well, and the KO, you know, ult is starting to go off as well here, and so, you know, they're going to start to come in. Dark comes in, it all looks like a big, you know, execute, but FPX seem aware, right? They seem very aware that that was a good possibility, because they're going to send the Fade ult in towards B main instead. And they're going to get a bit unlucky, really, here, FPX, because the Fade ult is just going to run out before it actually sees them. It's a really nice try, a really good call from them, but you can see that they just avoid it there. But in starts to come, you know, the big fake, and obviously now that the Fade ult hasn't seen anyone in B main, you know, they have no reason, really, to believe that it isn't going to be an A hit. The Silver ult starts to come in as well, right? And so they just start thinking, oh, it must just be an actual A hit. But the Cypher trip gets a kill on King, right? And that's a nice start, right? You're already in a 4v5, and because it is a fake, King is just, you know, left to dead, essentially. So now Sugetsu gets a bit curious because they haven't heard anything else. The Fade Horn comes onto this B side as well, and Sugetsu just picks a timing, finds it to get Taco there. We end up in this 4v3, but Adverso, because he was doing this Silver ult from back here, he's actually come around here and managed to catch Angel on the rotate. Nice idea overall from Leviathan. But we end up in a 3v3, but obviously Adverso is a bit disconnected, and so here we go. They start to try and flood in pretty quick here, but Shai manages to get one. Xiao is able to trade it out, and now obviously it's down to Melsa pretty heavily. Everyone gets flashed other than Zipan, who I think gets a bit confused at first, but does manage to, well, actually get an assist there as Xiao finishes it off. But then Zipan is going to win this game in this crucial 1v1 just there. He manages to out-duel Adverso, win the 1v1, and FPX managed to win the game. Really great last round, I would say. Really, you know, good idea from Leviathan overall. It was unfortunate for them that that would be their last round in Champs, but at least they went out with a bit of a bang and, you know, had a nice little round there, and a very good game overall. Another close Ascent game, but FPX were just able to manage to get it over the line.